To all the geeks and nerds, welcome back to another episode of Beyond Logic. And this week we are over in the end. We're back. We took a break last week, but we're back and we're going to be doing some work in the Death Star. We've got a few things that need to be done. So yeah, that's what we're going to be taking care of today. And yeah, I've been a bit busy. So I've been working on a top secret project, which is almost done. And hopefully, if all goes to plan, you'll be seeing that very soon on the channel. So that's why we didn't have an episode last week, because yeah, I had to take that had to take priority. Had to get some stuff done because we're under a bit of time pressure. But it's going to be good. If it all works out, it's all going to be good. So hopefully that's going to happen. And I might talk about it a bit later on. I don't want to jinx it too much. I don't want to kind of spill the beans or talk too early before certain things have happened. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. But anyway, we're over here inside the Death Star, and what we're going to do today, well, I think I want to make some more progress on wiring up some of our farms into our control room, and I've got a few ideas of what I want to do. So let's hop up there and take a look at the farms we've still got to connect. So here is the control room, and we've got our pets. We've got Luke, we've got R2D2, we've got Leia, and also, not to mention, C3PO, all here looking after our control room. So obviously we've got plenty of space here for more farms and contraptions as we add more and more to the Death Star, and all of the ones that have got levers are already wired up, so we can turn these on and off at will, which is great. But there are a few here that we haven't done yet. So we've got the wheat farm, the kelp farm, and also over here the what do you call it? Cactus. Cactus, how can I forget? Cactus. So those three farms are the three that still need wiring up. So hopefully we could do all of those today, but we'll see. I've got my thinking cap on, had a look around, I've got some ideas of how to do them. So I guess we just got to get going. So I think the first one I want to tackle is probably the most complicated, which is going to be the wheat farm. Because if we go over and take a look at the wheat farm, it's not so easy to just turn off. So here is our wheat farm, and our farmer is in there. There he is. He's not doing some work at the moment. Must be not the right time. But as you can see, yeah, there's not a lot of options here. We've got this villager. He's going to be in there farming the wheat up, and same with this guy over here. But unlike the carrot and potato farms that we've got, there's no central place where they come to drop off their stuff. They just harvest the bits and pieces, and it's left on the ground. And underneath we have some rails. You could just about see there's some rails with a minecart that goes along and picks them up. So what we want to do really is we could just stop the minecart, I guess, but then we'd end up with items on the floor. And I think what I want to just try actually just stopping these guys from harvesting. Just stop them from actually doing their work. So how are we going to do that? Well, I've got an idea. So I need to work out how to do the redstone for it, because we've got to do a little bit of technical stuff here. So why don't we hop into Creative Test World, and yeah, we can experiment with a few ideas and see if we can do this thing. As you can see, I have been busy. I've done a few experiments, tried to work out what's what, and I think I've got a prototype here that is going to do what we need. Yeah, it's a little bit bulky and big at the moment, a bit messy, but that's okay, because I think when you're designing these things up for the first time, you've got infinite space, so don't worry about that. And then once you've got the kind of basics down, you know what you're doing, then you can kind of make it a bit neater and stuff, which we'll do later when we build it for real in the world. But let me give you a demo of how this thing is going to work and what the idea is. So over here, this is going to be inside our control room, and as you can see there, if the lever is down, it's going to be on, so the lamp is on, so that denotes that the farmer is going to be busy doing some farming. So the idea here is, and obviously we can flip it up and that will turn a farm off. So let me give you a demo. So over here I'm a farmer, doing my stuff, right? And then at certain times of day it's going to be time for him to go to sleep, right? So he's going to walk over here, go to sleep, going to walk over that pressure plate, but it doesn't do anything because the farm is on. And when he walks out again, when he wakes up, he can go back to work, no problem. So as long as that lever is down and on, that means that he can go about his business. But what happens if we turn it off? So let's just turn it off. So we do that. Okay, so some stuff happens. So again, the door is open, so the farmer is going to be in here doing his business. And then when he's ready to go to sleep, he's going to walk over the pressure plate. The door closes behind him, so he can't get out. So now he's going to sleep in his bed, and all the time this farm is off, he's now trapped in this room with his bed. And obviously he can wake up and sleep and stuff, but if he tries to walk back, he can't get out. So that doesn't matter how often he walks over the pressure plate, he's now stuck. So that is that. And then if we want to turn it back on again, let's do that. And the door opens. So he's in his room, you see, because now it's turned on. And as he walks over the pressure plate, to get out, nothing happens, and he's get back out here, and he can do his work. Right, so I think that's going to work. So let me talk you through the redstone, if I can remember how I did it, and then hopefully this will make some sense. It's time to get a bit technical, so let's see if I can explain this in a concise way that kind of makes sense. So let's talk about the on state first of all, where the farm is on. So obviously the lever is down, which powers this redstone line. So this redstone line goes all the way around here, and this way kind of snakes around all the way here and into the block. So if the lever is on, then that block is always powered, which means the door is always open. And that's irrespective of anything else that happens around here, because the only other thing that interacts with this redstone line is this torch right here. As you can see, nothing else will affect it. And even if whether that is on or off, then that line is going to stay on if the lever over there is on. So yeah, if the farm is on, that door is always open and nothing can affect it. So the next thing is the off state. So that's the more interesting state, I guess. So if we were to turn this off, what happens is the line then turns off. That's seen by this observer, which powers this line, which ends up powering this dropper. So this dropper, there's two droppers here facing into each other, and this dropper has got an item in it. So when the redstone hits this one, it will power this dropper, which sends the item into this one. And then we can detect that because we've got a comparator here. This one here, you don't need. I've just put this here just so we can see where the item is a bit easier. So yeah, what will happen then is that will depower this, which then ends up depowering this, which powers the torch. So that will then be on, which again will then light this up and open the door. Obviously, this line is then going to be off because we've turned it off. So the door then stays open, even though we've turned the farm off. But the item is now over this side right here. So then when the farmer walks over this pressure plate, he's going to power this piece of redstone underneath, which powers this block, which powers this, which sends the item back from here, back over to here, which then we can detect from here, which turns this on, this on, this on, which then turns this off like it is now, which means both sides of this are going to be off, which then depowers the door and the door closes. So there you go. That traps the villager. And then, of course, when we turn the farm back on again, that line comes along here. The redstone then sees it again, which means it powers this dropper, which sends the item back over there again. And then because this line is on again, so that kind of resets that part of it, and that line is on, which then opens the door and the villager can get out. And because the item is on this side, when he walks over the pressure plate, that's not going to make any difference because powering this dropper won't do anything because the item is already on this side. All right, so I hope that made sense. It kind of half makes sense to me, and I made it. So hopefully that was all right. But yeah, we got a plan anyway. So we're going to do that, and obviously we're going to condense this down, make it a bit neater, yeah, and a bit more tidier when we build it for real. So let's get back over to the Death Star and yeah, begin construction. And here it is, all built up. So there is that torch right there. That's just underneath the door. And you can see we've got a couple of droppers facing each other. There's all the other bits and pieces, as you can see. And this lever right here, this is going to be the on and off switch. So we need to link this somehow to the control room, which is basically diagonally opposite, right at the very top. That way, so probably the furthest away that it could be. So I've got an idea for something new we could do for that. So yeah, we'll come to that later. But yeah, I want to give this thing a test. And as you can see, I've got my data pack on that tells us the villagers' time of day. So it's currently in their sleep time. So this is a great opportunity to try and test this thing. So what I've done here is I've put a block over there to block him, and the door is open, as you can see. So let's turn this off. So we want the farm to be off in off mode, and then I'm going to come over here. And then I'm going to just break this, and hopefully he should pathfind to his bed. Hopefully. This is a big test. I haven't tried this yet. So let's see. Hopefully he'll realise it's sleep time. He'll realise he can pathfind to this bed, and he'll walk over to it. Hopefully. Come on, guy. Okay, I was just giving him a nudge so he can walk over. There he goes. He's walking over. Yes! And he's in bed. And the door's shut. Awesome. Okay, that worked. All right, so now we just need to make sure that when he wakes up, he can't get out. All right, so yeah, let's just wait till it's morning time, wait till it's rise and shine and see what happens. Okay, we're coming to the end of sleep time. Hopefully he should wake up shortly. Then he'll start wandering around. Oh, there he goes. He's up. Okay, good. So he might start walking around there, but he doesn't start working until 2000. So yeah, he might walk on a pressure plate, but if he does, it shouldn't make any difference. So I just want to make sure that when it gets to work time, he can't get out. Oh, there he goes. Look, he walked on it. Yeah, he's still stuck. He's still stuck. Yes. Okay, so that's working. Oh, awesome. All right, so now he can't work. So now the farm is literally off. All right, awesome. So now if I turn it back on, when he gets over to work time and when he wants to go over into the fields to do some work, it should work out. So let's turn this back on again. There you go. So the farm is now on. So let's go back up here. So the door's now open, and when he should now, there we go, he should be able to go out. So even if he presses on this, even if he walks over the pressure plate, it shouldn't make any difference. He should be able to get out. So let's just see what happens when this gets to 2000, and hopefully he'll get back to work. And there he goes. He just walked out. I was walking around to get a better view, and he just walked out. So he's not quite 2,000 yet, but he's now out, and the door is still open. So now he can come and go as he pleases. So when it gets to night time, he can go and have a nice sleep and a rest. I think he's deserved the rest. He's been in there for a very long time, harvesting crops. All right, very good. So we need to build this up over here on this side. So same setup for this guy, and then we need to work out how we're going to wire this thing, this switch, all the way over. Right over here, diagonally, all the way opposite, up here to this thing. This is the control room. So, yeah, something new. So I've got an idea. So, yeah, let's build up the other one, and then we can get started with how we're going to transmit this signal diagonally across the Death Star. Here he is, fast asleep after a hard day's work. So I've built this up on the other side. And here, over here, there's the other guy right there. So they're having a good old sleep. And, yeah, I've connected up the two wires that control these two segments, and it's controlled by that lever right there. And as I said, we need to connect that up to the control room. So I think before we do that, I think it's worth thinking about the other farms as well. So what I was thinking of is, check this out. The Kelp farm, which we also need to control, is right here. It's right above here, so it's very close to this. And also, the Cactus farm is just over there at the very same level as this one. So these things are not too far away. So I've got an idea to connect these things together, but also use like a single transport system to transmit the signal. So more on that later. But I think what we're going to do now is work out how we're going to turn off the Cactus farm. Now, you can't really stop cactus growing. I think you can just put a block above it, but to have a contraption in here that's going to put blocks on top of all these cactuses or cacti is going to be a bit not very practical, I don't think. So instead, here's some items. They just broke off. They come into there. They come into the water stream over here. There they go, and then they shoot off that way. So all three of these silos end up in this water stream. There's another one. So I think the best thing to do, instead of trying to stop the cactus growing, we'll just destroy the items as soon as we can. So probably in here somewhere we'll have a way to divert them and destroy them instead. So yeah, and the idea here is that we want to do this just so we can reduce the number of items, the entities that are in the Death Star. So if we turn off all the farms, we'll have none of these kind of items flowing around, because of obviously if all these farms are all on, that's a lot of entities, a lot of items flowing around the system, and yeah, we just want to be good in our world. Got to take care of things. So that's what we're going to do. So I think we're going to wire something up here, which gives us an option to destroy these cactus. As close to this as we can. So let me get something built up, and then I'll show you what I come up with. So I think I've come up with something that's going to work, and got to do the last little bit, which is to put lava in here to destroy some items. So let's come up here and have a look. So the basic idea is here is our switch. So we need to link that up to the control room up there. And if the line is on, then the farm is on, which means we're not going to destroy any items. So I've just blocked off the water there, but the items will come across here and just go along as they normally do. So I've taken out the water just to make sure I don't destroy anything by accident. But if we turn the farm off with that lever, what then happens is this piston retracts the ice, which means that items can fall into the lava. And this trapdoor that we're currently using them all over the place here to kind of stop the water. It just happens we can power that, which means it will block any items so they don't sort of fly over the top, because they float a little bit in water. And because this is the last block, this is the 8th block, the water is as low as possible, which means the items fall down and don't float up to the top. So just got to get some water in now. So got to put the water back, and then we give this thing a proper test. Okay, so here comes some items. I just saw some broke off, and hopefully we should have a bit of cactus come along. Where is it? Here it comes. Here it comes. And it drops down into the lava. Yes. So that is basically turning the farm off. So yeah, not actually turning it off, but yeah, just destroying the items as quickly as we can before it gets into the system. There's some more coming in. So yeah, that is good. So now let's just let's turn the farm on again, and hopefully it should go back. There we go. So now the trapdoor is now opened, letting items going through, and we've put the ice back. So now when new items come along, they should flow underneath. And if one comes along now, that would be good timing, but it might not. And here comes some items. There they go. And it should make its way back into the water stream and then goes all the way along and out. Yes. All right. Very good. Okay, so that is working. So the farm is now on. That is working. And again, we've now got another lever, or another line, shall we say, over here. That's what we've got to control as well. And this is directly opposite, as we saw before, the wheat farm, which is just there. So pretty close together. So I've got an idea for that, which we'll come back to. But I think the next thing is to work out how we're going to stop the kelp farm. And I think that one is going to be super simple. Here it is. Here is the kelp farm. And as a quick reminder, in case you haven't seen it, let's pop into here and have a look. So here we have these 3 silos with kelp that grow all the way up. And the way this works is we have this slime block bar that comes across, cuts across all the kelp, and then they float to the top and then come out. So essentially, to turn this farm off, we just need to stop this slime bar moving across, and this is essentially a fly machine which is controlled behind this wall, and it's the same for all three of these. They're all controlled independently, so we've got to turn all three off separately. So let's go around the back and check out how this works. So here is the backside of the kelp farm. So this is behind one of them, and over here, this thing here is the fly machine that connects to the bar that goes across, and there you can see there's the gap where the slime blocks go across. But the way this works is, if you haven't seen it before, we have a sapling over here, and looking at that we have this observer, and every time this sapling tries to grow, the observer sees it and sends a signal into this thing, which is a counter, and after it tries to grow 8 times, because we've got some items here, we've got 2 in there and 6 in there, so just 2 more growths required. And then once that happens, this bit of redstone right here sends off the fly machine and it goes along. So to turn this farm off, we just need to retract this observer away from the sapling, and then yeah, we won't get any more signals. So that's 2 of these. There's 1 on each side for each of the silos. So there's 3 silos, 2 of these. So that's six pistons we need to power to stop working. So that should be pretty straightforward. So I think I'm going to do that next and get that into one single lever, probably over here at the back somewhere in the central place, just because I like things to be kind of symmetrical. So we put the lever over here somewhere. So then we'll have 3 levers. There's the one for the wheat farm. We'll have 1 above here for the kelp farm, somewhere around here, and we've got the one over there we've just done, which is for the cactus. And then it's the job of connecting them to the control room, which yeah, I've got a new idea. Not sure if it's going to work, but yeah, looking forward to trying that out. So let's get this built up and then turn this thing off. There is the lever that is going to control all of our kelp farms. So I've got that in, and yeah, this wasn't too bad. Pretty straightforward. So let's hop on over and check this thing out. So basically, that lever has this power line that goes to all three of the silos, and it all works exactly the same way. So what I've done here is I've added this piston which retracts this block. So if we want to turn the farm off, then obviously this line will get depowered, which will remove this block, and that means that the signal that comes from over here, there's a torch there, redstone torch right there. So when the fly machine docks on this side, there'll be a block above it which transmits this signal around here and then powers the piston here, which yeah, puts the observer down. So if we remove that block from both sides, then that means that both pistons are going to be retracted, which means no more counting, which means no more harvesting. So that is that. So I've done that on all three silos. So that is now done and working. And now it's the next bit. So let's go on over to the control room. So up here, and let's get set up with the initial part of this, and yeah, see if it's going to work. I've made a start, and here are 3 droppers, each with the items of the farms that we've just been setting up. So what is this all about? Well, let's get the last ones in there. Okay, that one's filled up. And as you can see, this is our control room, and underneath we've got this little setup which are connected to the levers inside. So basically, whenever we flip a lever inside, either on or off, we are going to get an item dispensed out of here, and that's going to go into a water stream, which is going to go all the way that way. And I think we're going to try and get it to go down into the core. So basically one of those items is going to fall down here somewhere and down into a receiver at the bottom to be decoded, which will then link to one of the farms, if that makes any kind of sense. So let's just test this bit first and just make sure this bit's working, and then I've got a little setup in my test world that we can actually look at, and hopefully that'll make more sense. So let's get in here and put down these levers. So I've moved over the cactus one, so it's here. So let's turn one on. So let's say turn that one on, so we get that's a kelp farm one. So let's go up and see if we've got a kelp item on the glass. And there it is. There is the item. So imagine that was in a water stream, that would go off into a decoder that's going to be at the bottom of the Death Star. And likewise, if we were to turn it off, then that's because this is just an observer. It's going to see the change in state, and so we get another one. So whenever an item is dispensed out of here, then we're going to get that basically as a toggle to go on and off for the farm. So we need to link this up. Yeah, as I said, to the bottom. So let's go into my test world where I've got something rigged up, and hopefully that'll be a bit easier to demonstrate how this thing works. And here is that setup. So this is what we're going for, obviously on a larger scale inside the Death Star. But here's the basic idea. So here, this is going to be the levers inside the control room. So let's say we want to turn on or off the wheat. So we flip that, and we get a wheat item comes out of the water stream, and then when it gets to the central core, it's going to go into this cobweb, which is going to cancel all of the momentum, and then it's going to take a little bit of time to get to the bottom, but when it does, it's going to fall straight down, and then we can have one single hopper directly underneath the cobweb, right at the bottom of the Death Star. So it's going to travel down, I think it's going to travel down something like 7, maybe 6 or 7 levels, Yeah, so that's quite a long way. So it's going to fall down, and that saves us having to create a whole glass tube or anything like that. So that will be good. And then it's going to go to this this hopper, and hopefully that will just happen in a second. There you go, and it just goes directly in there. So I've been testing. So once it goes into the hopper, we then need to decode it. So when an item comes through here, that means we want to toggle that particular farm on or off, because even if we turn it off again, we'll get another item it comes out. So that's the toggle side of things, and this is what we're going to have at the bottom. So not quite sure exactly where this is going to sit. We need to find some space for it, but basically imagine this is the cobweb, and then the item's going to fall into this hopper right here, which then goes into this item sorter. So a standard impulse SV item sorter right here, and then all the items that end up coming down will go into these barrels, and an extra barrel there in case there is any other items make it in. But then basically we have this item sorter, which is the orange section here, and that goes into this yellow section, which is basically a T flip-flop. And as you can see here, these redstone blocks will then get pushed out, and that will control each of the individual farms. So to demonstrate, I've got this one is simulating that the wheat farm is on, but these two are off. So if I was to put a wheat item into this hopper right here, let's put that on, we should see, there you go, the wheat is now turned off. And now let's say we want to turn on the cactus farm. We go into this hopper, drop a cactus in, and there you go, the cactus farm is now going to be turned on. So we should be able to get this wired up in the Death Star without too much bother. And yeah, just two little modules. So we've got to build up this module, which we've pretty much done already. And then we just got to build this at the bottom of the Death Star to do the decoding. And of course, this could be expanded. So if you wanted to do this with some more items, that's probably possible as well. Probably need to work out some details about it, but I think this concept is pretty good. So let's go over to the Death Star and build this thing up. And with construction commencing, it gives me an opportunity to talk about a couple of things that I think will be good to talk about. So first of all, I did mention a secret project earlier on, and I've been working hard on that, and that is the reason why we didn't have an episode last week, because there was a lot of stuff had to be done. And yeah, that secret project is almost done. We're pretty much there in terms of the planning and preparation stage. We just got to do some recording, and if all goes well, that will be on the channel from the second week in December. So look out for that. I don't want to talk too much about it, or jinx it too much, because until it's recorded, then things might not happen. You know how life can be. So yeah, but to all those people that have helped me out with that so far, thank you so much for all your hard work. That has been very much appreciated, and it's going to be super cool. It's going to be really good. Probably one of the best things on the channel, I reckon. So yeah, look out for that in December. Fingers crossed. And the second thing to talk about is the new series that came on the channel a couple of weeks ago called Horrify. That is a CTM map playthrough, and it's pretty hard. It's pretty brutal, and it's my first one, and I'm derping a lot. I am really derping hard. So if you like derpage, then check out that series. Now, the first few episodes, I tried to not do any editing. I wanted to be that as like a real kind of playthrough, but there was so much death backwards and forwards that I started doing some proper editing now, trying to get the quality of that up as much as possible. So yeah, check out that series. Let me know what you think. I definitely need some help with some tactics about how to handle that kind of thing, but we're making progress and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, that's going to continue. So yeah, check that out on the channel as well. That is well worth a watch. And finally, a little bit of news to fill you in on, and that is that I've had a change of circumstance. So for some of you will know that I work for myself. I'm a freelance programmer, and actually it turns out that I've been working for a client for a little while, and it's a super cool place to work, really, really good. And they offered me a permanent place, and I've accepted. So I'm going to be an employee again, working permanently for a company. And the way it works out is I'm going to have a lot of time off in December, just the way things have worked out. So that means that in December, I'm pretty much off for the whole of the holiday season. So that means I've got a bit more time to work on some videos. So what I want to do is I want to start up some videos that are sort of targeted a bit more at maybe earlier players or players that haven't played so long. And yeah, I want to sort of target those and give them some guides about how to play the game and how things work. So I'm going to start off with some mob spawning, and in particular why your farm isn't working, because I get a lot of questions about that kind of thing. So if you've got any other suggestions for things of that nature, then let me know in the comments. And yeah, that could be some content for some videos to come to the channel soon. There is the completed decoder inside the core of the Death Star. So yeah, and all the wires have been placed. So everything should be off. So if we look here, you can see those redstone blocks are all retracted. So that means that all the farm should be off. So let's just double check that first, because I want to give this a test. I've not tested the whole thing end to end yet. So if we look at the cactus farm, so we can see the lava is accessible. So that means items are dropping in there, so that farm is off. Also, if we look at the kelp farm right here, you can see these blocks are retracted, so that farm is off as well, retracted on both sides, so that is off too. And if we look down at the wheat farm, our our villagers are in their beds and they're locked away inside inside their bedrooms. So, and of course, obviously the line here is also off. So that's that. So we know all the farms are off. So let's go and turn them on, and hopefully they should all come on once we flip these levers. Let's give these a try one at a time. So let's start off with the cactus farm. So if I flip this lever, a cactus should be dispensed from the dropper into the water stream and then fall down through to the decoder underneath. So if we jump on down here, no elytra, and then engage, yes. I love doing that. So cool. Right, anyway, let's land down here, and we can see this is still off. There we go. Bit of cactus fell in there. So if we keep an eye on that far redstone block, that should come out in a second once it's fallen through the cobweb and into the decoder. That will light up this line right here, which connects to the cactus farm. And there it is. It did it. So there we go. That line is now turned on. That goes all the way under here. And if we look over here, yes, it's now turned on. So, and there's the cactus going into the system. Right, so awesome. So that one worked. So that is done. So 2 more to test. So let's go up and try them. Next up is the kelp farm. So let's flip that lever. A kelp should be dispensed as we did with the other one, with the cactus. So let's go down and check it out. And hopefully this is going to turn on. So I've made it down in time, and hopefully this block is going to move once the decoder picks it up and the signal reaches all the way over here. So let's hang out here and wait for this block to move. There it is. It did it. Yes. So 2 out of 3 so far. So that is now on. Brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Oh, yes, this is really good. So last one to try. This is the wheat farm. And this means, if this one works, this means we can turn off all of the farms inside the Death Star from the control room. So we can fully shut down the Death Star if we want to. So yeah, let's flip this lever. It's right in here. And we'll go down and see if the door's open for our villagers so they can get out of their bedroom. So here is the door. We're waiting for this to open, and when it does, the villager will be free, to carry on doing some work. So let's wait for this to happen, and fingers crossed it will. There we go. Did it? Yes, another one. So all of our and the guy woke up. Did that wake you up, dude? Sorry about that. Sorry for the noise. So yeah, there we go. So all of our farms now in the Death Star are controlled from the control center, from the control room. So that is really good. So obviously we've still got more work to do in here. We've got a lot of space for building more things, and yeah, this is going to be super cool. And I think once we get to 1.15 with the honey blocks, that's also going to give us some opportunities to do some different things with turning things on and off as well. So yeah, this is really cool. Really good. Really happy how that turned out. All right. And so that is about it for another episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We have now wired up all of our farms in the Death Star to the control room and can totally shut this thing down if we need to. So that is really cool. So if you did enjoy it, then please hit the like button. And if you're new, then feel free to subscribe. And if you've got any comments or suggestions or any kind of feedback, then get it in that comment section. All right, my geeks, until next time, I will see you later.